I'm about to meet Mustafiz Uden. He's the owner and managing director of Denim Expert in Bangladesh. And the manufacturing side and also Bangladesh has been really severely hit by the COVID crisis. I'm going to talk to Mustafiz about how the world looks from his perspective and what is in need for equal partnerships and building trust between manufacturers and brands going forward. Hello, Mustafiz.
Hi, Eva.
Good to see you. It feels like a different world, right?
Completely new world.
Yeah. So obviously, the COVID-19 crisis has had massive impact on the whole world and on fashion, and in particularly, of course, also the manufacturing side of our industry. And I think no doubt when I look at this year, that's the biggest and most important sort of topic of the year is what happened with our supply chain and not least with your part of it in Bangladesh. So tell me a little bit about how things have impacted you and your business.
Actually, Eva, words are not enough to express the feelings and the situation. And it is something which we never predict in our entire life. We always know there would be some problem, there would be some ups and downs. But the situation we faced for the COVID, uh, that's, I don't know how to explain you. Within a week everything had changed, every single thing of life, business, our workers, our life, our everything had been changed within just in week.
So what do you think they should have done differently? Because obviously I'm assuming that a lot of companies were also in insecurity about when they would need new goods or when they would be reopening their stores. So how do you feel they could have acted differently towards their responsibility towards you, the workers, and the supply chain?
We should be considered as a partner, which was missing. We should be considered as a family member of the value chain, and somebody should take the phone and call and explain, okay, Mustafiz, this is happening, this is these things. I don't know anything when I can take the goods. I don't know what is the future. I don't know when COVID will go, but I am with you, Mustafiz. I'm not leaving you alone. Just simply one email to your long-term manufacturing partners and just wash your hand and tell that the goods are cancelled. I'm not taking your goods. The raw material purchased, we don't want to take the goods. Why should be like that? Isn't it? It would be more nice that take the phone and then tell and explain the situation.
So the words equal partnerships has been on the agenda for many years, but obviously this year even stronger. And the need to discuss how this is not just buyers buying off a plant of manufacturers, but that it is an actual partnership. So in that equation, what does trust mean in that equation?
Trust is everything, especially in the fashion industry. Obviously, we work through letter of credit, lot of documentation, lot of things, because it's not only between the manufacturer and the buyer. Also, there are a lot of third party involved. We have a banking sector, shipping sector, lot of things. So we have a lot of documentation. But I think the most important things is trust. I can give you one example. We work for a lot of customers where we do business 10-50 million dollars, where the customers only send us an email. They send an email, they said that, Mustafiz, can you please book this raw material? I may need this in February or March. What we do, we don't wait for a legal purchase order from them. We don't wait for a letter of credit for them. We immediately ask our raw material supplier to do the production for us, and our raw material supplier also same thing. So if you look into the entire value chain of fashion industry, I don't know any other industry where trust is so important and where people do trust themselves more than us in the fashion supply chain. And entire value chain, entire supply chain, we work on the trust, but I think the trust had been broken this time.
What can we learn? Is there anything that you've taken with you from this?
For me, even in this pandemic, one thing I learned, we all know that how important partnership and how important relationship. We all know this one, but I think in this pandemic, this becoming a things to be mandatory. Without the partnership, we cannot grow. We cannot do any business. This is must. This is what I had learned, and I must say here, if we take some example of brands and retailers, a few brands and retailers, but one of them in Bangladesh, because Bangladesh, you know that we have a lot of production for H&M. If you consider how H&M had handled this COVID-19 situation, when the very first beginning of the COVID, they said that we will not cancel any orders. We are with you. You are our partners. We will keep our commitment. We will not do anything where you are alone. So there, I know many of the people will say that this is not something doing exceptionally. Yes, I know. I also know this one. I expected that my brands and retailing partner, where they always pitch about the sustainability, they should have come and asked me, Mustafiz, we know your factory is closed for this many days. How can we be part of it? How can we help you, your worker, to stay on the job? We know that nobody wants to terminate the workers, but how can we keep them employing in the job? That was missing during this pandemic.
Is there like one message, something that you would like to say to the brands and retailers of the world with the COVID in the back, but still, affecting our world tremendously?
I will say that maybe we have a different color, maybe we are in a different place, but we are a part of you. We are the same family. In the fashion industry, we all are family. We are someone is black, someone is white, someone is tall, someone is short, someone is Asia, someone is Europe. It doesn't matter, but we are a family, a fashion family.
So how do you think we can learn from this and learn from some of the best practices of those players out there to make this a common denominator for the whole industry? How can we make sure that we don't end in a situation similar to this in the future?
I think we need to redefine our value, and it's very important that every brand and retailer, they have their own value. And I think every brands and retailers at this moment in the fashion industry talk about their sustainability goal, their commitments, how they want to take care of the people who work for them. And if every brands and retailer just keep their promises, what they are pitching to the world about sustainability, if they can just keep their promise, I think this situation will not happen again to us. You cannot find any brands and retailer doing business in the apparel industry where they can say, we don't care about sustainability, or sustainability is not important. Everyone is saying that, but very few had behaved like H&M. And I will request all other brands and retailers, please do not do any empty promises. If you don't care about sustainability, environment, people, do not come and say your social media that we care about this, we care about that. And at the end of the day, when the crisis comes, you behave totally differently. This is not expected from you.
So do you think that radical transparency will actually be the answer to that?
Even transparency is must, and without transparency we cannot build. Either we talk about equal partnership, either we talk about long-term relationship, trust, whatever it is. If transparency is not there, we will not able to build up anything, neither be a partnership, neither be a relationship or trust. And if you look into almost all the brands and retailers, we are publishing our goods from where coming, which country it's coming, our fibers is where. All this transparency already brands and retailers are practicing. But I think that when this transparency could be in a 360 angle, not only in terms of making happy to the consumer, how can you sell more goods being transparent? Rather than that, if the brands and retailer also be transparent with their manufacturing partner, then this type of global crisis we could have avoided, and we future also we can avoid this kind of thing. So transparency is the only key to move forward. There is no other alternate of the transparency.
Thank you. Thank you so much for spending time and for sharing your vision.